according to my research, I would say a very strong advice is don't be too harsh on you. Top three skills, if I say we need to master, is the first one, I need to balance my emotion. And second thing is not too much overconfident. And the third thing is welcoming for this showtime. So I'm Madhumitha Murugan here. So I'm going to talk about some a sensual topic today, which is different for different persons. So let's directly deep dive into the concept. So when I say dare to be different, which is the topic today, I would like to present it in multiple layers. So first, I would like to know, like many of the people have faced so many challenges, right? So what are the challenges in day-to-day life they are facing? So as far as I've worked with so much of entrepreneurs and workers and my colleagues, the many challenges that they face is, suppose when they are in a meeting room or in they when they are in a group of a forum, they find it very difficult to put up their point, even though if it is correct. So most of the people are trying to fit into the group, which is making it hard for them to even present themselves with the correct point, with the right point. So, what about you are in a family group or a family gathering where you have so much of points to present up there, so much of opinions, but you are again hesitating yourself to present it in that group. So anywhere in any forum, we people are facing some kind of fear, which is stopping us to present at the right point. So whether it's right or wrong, that's the second matter. But we are even hesitated to present that this is my opinion. So I just wanted to bring up here. So that's what many people are facing challenges today. And I feel that I want to talk about how we can overcome that by using this technique, daring to be different. So I would rather say this is not a technique actually. This is a kind of attitude which we need to develop within ourselves. And these are multi-layered as well. So when I say multi-layered, many people say if the people around us are growing parallelly when we also grow in the ladder, right? So at some point, we find at some level, the people who are growing with us, they have certain opinions, and we will be in a situation where we are understanding their opinion. So when we understand their concept or opinion, we find it that according to our knowledge and growth and our brought up, we find it that okay, this doesn't fit here, this doesn't suit here, so I just wanted to remodel it. At that point, this attitude really helps for many people, especially the young aspirants who are coming up in this generation. They really need this. And I just wanted to share a small experience actually. So I'm about to do a guest lecturer in some college. I just want to mention the name. So it's just a simple good morning, or it's just a simple answer that I expected from the students, but they are so much hesitated to, answer to me. So that really made me to talk about this topic to the young aspirants nowadays. So they are not even, bothered about what's currently happening around them and whether they need to open their mouth and talk in that group or not. So they're not even bothered about. And coming back to multi-layered point, so the first layer I would put up is on personal basis. So when I say daring to be different, on a common note, we just cannot tell everybody that we need to do different things, because that should also end up in a positive way. Keeping on that note, I would say everything is on personal basis. So it all depends on your situation, your setup, your the people around you. So it all depends on that. The second layer I would put up is the helpful and unhelpful daring to be different topics. So what is that helpful? So if you do this attitude in a helpful way, you will be included in a group, you will be respected, you will show some kind of honest attitude and so on. Suppose if it negative way, that is unhelpful daring to be different. So unhelpful ways are like you will be excluded, and you will be you will be feeling alone in that group. So all these things comes under unhelpful daring to be different. So what I would suggest to the young aspirants and the group of people is, daring to be different can be a good one unless and until it is not harmful and we are following all the moral ethics that we need to follow in our life. This is one point. And here I would also like to talk about some effect which even smart people have that. It's during Kruger effect, which I recently read about and I found it so much interesting actually. So the effect is that, so some people, they are like overeducated, think that they're overeducated, and they don't have the capacity to analyze themselves. So that is during Kruger effect. They think that they are overconfident, they think that they're overeducated, and they think that they are too much smart, which ends up in an inability to analyze their personal growth, analyze their personal character. The Dunning-Kruger's effect is nothing but one of the two students, they did this research via logical reasoning using emotional intelligence, and they researched it with so much of people around them, and they come up to this point. So what I'm trying to tell here is, when you have the Dunning-Kruger effect, you would be in a situation where you can't analyze yourself. And if you're not able to analyze yourself, you would surely end up in some bad decisions and you will end up in a bad group. So, what is that relation between Dunning-Kruger effect and this daring to be different is? So, this effect means we are overconfident and we find ourselves too much in any place. Daring to be different is we need to put up a point in a group without being hesitated. So, when you have this much of confidence, you will end up in bringing up wrong opinions, wrong points in a group, which will make yourself excluded from that group, right? So, you must have that balance in life where you are not too much confident or you are not you are not less confident. So when you balance that, this daring to be a different attitude will surely help you in your life. So this effect, I really found that very helpful and interesting, so which I want to talk about here. So going forward, for the young aspirants, I would say this daring to be different will bring you a lot of courage in your life. So there are places where people find their career not satisfied because of a fit-in policy which we are in now, in the current trend. So we are always trying to fit into a group. So it doesn't mean that when a group of people are doing something, it's the right thing, and also doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing. So that's what I meant about that balance. So if you feel that group is not fitting you, you are absolutely fine to come out of it, and you are absolutely fine to present yourself there in a different way, right? There are so many people who are working in IT organizations, or they are just doing like go with the flow, and they're trying to fit in the group, but their career interest and their strengths are different. Just that they are getting some good amount of money in some position, it doesn't mean that they're really interested to do it, right? So when they try to be different, they are really worried about the people who are around them. So they think that, okay, if I start up a business, I'm really worried whether I will end up in a successful way, whether I will make profit in it, right? So these questions, it should not come in your mind. And the one another effect of Dunning-Kruger effect, which I would say will help here actually. So what those two people they suggested is to overcome that. You need to question yourselves regularly, which means suppose if I'm good at say if I'm good at engineering, right, and I'm good at in some technical concept, it doesn't mean that I'm fully loaded in that knowledge and I'm ended up there, like I'm completed there. It doesn't mean that. Still I have few more things to learn, still I have few more knowledge gaps. So I need to question myself, where is my knowledge gap, and I need to develop that. So when you have this kind of attitude where you're questioning yourselves and you're developing yourself, you will surely end up in dealing with right things at right time, and you will be able to find your strength. Suppose if I say I have 80% of knowledge with me in some technical concept and 20% I'm lagging behind, I can improvise it. But on the vice versa side, if I have only 20% of knowledge and 80% I'm lagging there, then that is not my path of career. Absolutely right. So I need to find my strength properly, and I need to be daring enough to switch my career no matter what people are around me and no matter what group I'm going to fit in. So this is what I'm really stressed about and really worried about the young generation are coming up, because they are actually forced to do some thing which they don't like. Just because they did engineering, it's not that they need to fit into that particular group. They can also do a business. They're open for doing music, arts. They can act. So there are so much of artists, leading aspirants, leading artists, and inspiring minds who are daring enough to do something in their life. So I would like to quote about Akio Morita. So he actually, I would also talk about this failure here. So Akio Morita, he first initially found a pressure cooker, which actually burned a lot of rice in the beginning, and it's a publicly, failure commercial product. But then he was capable enough to overcome that failure, and now he is the owner of Sony, which is one of the household brands which you're using right now, right? So this what we need to do with the failure. So nowadays people are really I would not say worried, they are afraid of facing failure. So only when we are able to face failure with a daring attitude, we would come up, right? So that's what is leading to a lot of wrong decisions and insane decisions which people are taking as they face any failure in life. Even a single failure, just some test marks or just a small step which they take in their life, and if they face a failure, they're too much affected about that. So we need to have the daring attitude to even face a failure. Many of our inspiring leaders and many inspiring minds in our country around or across the globe, they have faced failures, but after that we will get an outcome which you can't even imagine. So that outcome will be a fantastic success. So you need to believe that. So let's have that attitude of daring to be different, and let's face failures together. Let's join hands in this society and help each other, so that even when an individual is trying to be daring enough to do something in life, we should not try to pull them down even when they are coming up in life. So this will surely break their daring attitude. So let's help each other in the society, as I said. So we encourage people around us. This is a small step which each one of us can take. Just encourage everybody who are around you, especially the young minds who are really weak nowadays in the society. So we need to encourage them, and slowly, we can see a better group around us. So the better the environment around us, we will lead a happy life.
Okay, got it, Mathumitha. Thanks a lot for your keynote speech. I have few questions like for you. So, what are the key steps to transform to success, and how much like money like can an individual potentially earn by leveraging your unique traits of direct to be different, and according to your studies and research that you have done?
Yes, surely.
Yeah.
So there are a few steps or processes which I would say, but I would not uh, give you a cast iron guarantee that this will give you success. But for sure, it will give you some kind of improvements in your life. So the steps might include, the first thing is emotional intelligence, which I would say. That's the key point and key skill in developing this daring to be different attitude, which will underpin this attitude in your life. And then self confidence. So we need to have that, and we need to have the right balance which will balance your overconfidence, and you should not be very much less confident. So that balance we need to have in your life. And then we need to set a proper goal, know your strength, and after setting the proper goal, you will know what is your strength in that goal, and then you will have a better intention of leading your life, which will surely bring you this daring to be different attitude. So this is the process which we can follow, and this won't come all of a sudden in our life. So day by day, just do little things. So first you can find what is your strength, and then slowly you can try to participate in the things which are around you. Then slowly try to make your group identify that you are good at this. Then slowly you come up in life. So take it very slow. And according to my research, I would say a very strong advice is, don't be too harsh on you, right? So even if it's not coming, that's fine, okay. Even if you're facing failures, that's fine, it's okay. So don't be too harsh on you, okay. That will lead you to make wrong decisions. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Mathumitha. So I have like few more questions for you. So what is the like most shocking story you have encountered about someone who thrived by implementing this daring to be different concept or principle on their life, and what can we like learn from it?
So a shocking incident, that's not shocking actually. There is an incident which I faced in my college days during my education. So one of my friends, so she is good at doing artworks. During our college days itself, she'll do portraits and she'll try to picture all of us in the books. And then her dad is actually interested in doing government jobs, so he forcefully pushed her to do study for these group examinations and all of that. And so to prepare for that we need to work hard, right? So day and night we need to solve those aptitudes and all of the stuffs. So daily she'll come to class and she will tell us that we are not like to do a 9 to 5 job. I need to do my own artistry and I need to do something online, which no, many of us are monetizing things on Instagram. So she's really interested in that. And when she is projecting herself in a public, their family is not. They are not interested to support her. So main thing is that she's a girl, so that's also a thing. She's a woman and uh, she's not you used to do all those things in public, so she is not allowed to show her face, show her drawings, all of those stuffs. And she is like really worried, and we all encouraged her. We told her that okay, you just speak up to your family, open up that you have these many interests and you really want to do this. And one day she got discontinued from her education, and her dad was literally dragging her from our class outside. And within a month we got to know that she got married.
Yeah, it's
That's a really tragic situation which we heard. And now she is having two babies, but yeah, I'm in connect with touch with her. Even if she sees this, she would remember that. But she's looking happy, but she's not happy.
yeah,
So that's what. That's
typical
really
Indian story. Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
So, which personal experience have like shown you the highest return when embracing this uniqueness or practicing this daring to be different, both in life and in terms of finance?
So in terms of finance or monetizing part, this attitude, it brought me a more clearer picture of my life, I would say. And I became too much courageous, and I'm now able to speak things up without any fear, and in my family as well. So from monetizing perspective, I would say this doesn't deal much basically, but when I talk about career, it does a lot. So from career perspective, it does a lot. And when I try to speak things up aloud, there are certain opportunities for me where I am asked to do some this guest lecture, all these stuffs, but I don't intentionally do it. But yeah, around 40 to 50% it does.
Got it. So, Madhumita, what is the like most proactive ways to showcase our own uniqueness or qualities in the professional settings?
Exactly. I love this question actually.
Yeah,
Even to my colleagues, I daily talk about this. So, in a workplace, say the IT industry, if I take, so why I'm choosing that particular industry is we are so much exposed to clients there. So when I check about this IT industry, there are a lot of colleagues who are fine and comfortable with one-on-one discussion, but they're not comfortable in a group discussion. But they are very much technically experts and they are professionally too much expertise, but they are not showcased out. So that's a pathetic situation, I feel. So I would tell them that okay, you just please open up. So these are the qualities you can develop in your day-to-day life. Just do some presentations. So simple things we can develop. So if you're a college going student, you can wantedly do some PPTs in your classrooms. You can just read books aloud in front of everybody. So this will slowly remove that fear from you. Going forward in your career, when you reach heights, this will surely help. So in a workplace, I would say please try to be comfortable in any area you are put in. So that is important. Even it's a group discussion or to a client facing role or an individual discussion, be frank and be open. Many of them are they will just try to stand behind some other colleague and they'll say You tell this to the manager, you initiate this, then I'll come forward and join with you. So these are the thing, these are some I just don't like this actually. So these talks, if I hear itself, it will be like, okay, what's the problem for you in talking to them? So are they going to kill you? No, right? So you can just go forward and start things, start initiating things. So that's what's in workplace. These many things will happen.
Got it, got it. So, Madhumita, what is the most proactive questions leaders should ask themselves to access their emotional intelligence, and how can leaders specifically identify and address their own emotional blind spot using specific techniques or tools? What would you suggest in general? Yeah.
Yeah. So first question I would say is whether I'm 100% skilled in my expertise. So obviously it will be a no. So that no will actually bring us great heights. Then the second question is whether what I'm doing is not hurting anyone, and what I'm doing is productive for the people around me. Whether it's productive for the people around me and for me. If it's productive, then I'm good. I can go forward. And the third question is whether what I'm doing is reaching all the people who are working with me. So if I'm a leader and if I have 50 employees under me, so I should not say under me, like 50 employees who are with me, and I'm just leading the group, then I should ask myself whether what I'm doing is reaching all 50 of them and no one is left out. And the fourth question will be like what I would ask myself as a leader is whether the things I'm doing are new to them and it's not too much boring or much subjective, a new subject for them where they can improvise themselves apart from the technical things which they're doing. So this will actually build some good relationship between a leader and his team.
My last question will be, so what are the top three critical emotional intelligence skills every leader must master, and how they can do that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a critical question. So, top three skills, if I say we need to master, is the first one, I need to balance my emotion. Balance is must. And how to master that is only by asking question to myself. So when I lose my balance, I must be good enough, and I must be knowledgeable to sense that I'm losing my balance, and then I need to ask myself. And second thing is not too much overconfident. So if for anyone, if we ask them to be a leader, team leader, obviously we will get that attitude like I'm a leader, so I'm supposed to only to manage you, and I'm not managed to do stuffs what you are doing. So that too much overconfidence attitude we should not have, and for that also we need the right balance to check our level of emotional intelligence. And the third thing is anger, which I'm seeing in a lot of leaders, right? So that will obviously lead in wrong decisions, taking wrong decisions, and it will affect the team. So anger issues. So usually we will say it's an anger issue. So anger is obviously an issue. So we should not have that, because anger is not going to give you even a single percent of thing positivity. It's only a negative disruption. So anger we should not have. We need to deal with calmness. Better do meditation, yoga. That helps to come that and master that skill. Yeah. So these three I would recommend for a team lead.